Hey guys, and welcome. Today we're going to do a little field work and we're going to walk through a real distressed property to show you what you need to do to fix it up and what it would look like when you flip a house, what you can expect when you start looking at distressed properties. This is a house that I have under contract right now. I should be closing on it in a few weeks. So again, you're not learning from, a snake oil salesman or a has-been here. I'm out here in the field doing stuff right now, and I'm going to walk you through this property to show you exactly what I would do if I was going to fix it up and flip it. First thing, before you start flipping houses and before I even go into the house, the first thing that you're going to want to look at is you want to look at the neighborhood, because it's very important that you don't fix this house up to stand out from the neighborhood. People want to conform, they want to feel comfortable where they're living, so it's really important that you get an idea of where this house is sitting, look at the neighborhood, and fix up the house so it looks like some of these other houses around here. So this neighborhood is a really nice, really attractive neighborhood. It's about the median home price for the area, so it's not the most expensive house in the area, not the cheapest house in the area. So this is a really comfortable range for a lot of home buyers. So it's important that I recognize who my end buyer is going to be before I start the work here, and that way I know I don't need to go over the top and fix this house up so it looks amazing, but I also don't want to cut corners either, because this neighborhood is a nice, attractive area that a lot of people want to be at. So before we go into the house, we're going to start looking at the curb appeal here. This is the first thing that buyers, first thing that anyone on the internet is going to see. So let's look at the outside of the house, see what needs to be changed on the outside. The first thing that you're going to notice here is it needs a lot of work on the front. So there's a lot of things that you need to work on for when your buyers are driving by, when people are looking at the house on the internet, they're seeing pictures. There's a lot of things we need to work on. When I look at the house, few things that I see, you might not be able to pick it up on camera, but it actually looks like it's not level as far as the garage. It's not. It looks like it's kind of leaning a little bit. So that's definitely something I want to look at really seriously as far as the foundation, structural. It's possible that the house is just settled, or it's possible that the original construction just wasn't very good, but I want to make sure that I address everything. Everything looks level, it looks perpendicular and parallel, like everything looks square, because if it doesn't look square, that's going to freak buyers out right away. They're not even going to walk inside. They're going to be so scared that the house is going to fall into the earth just by that perception. So I really want to get my contractor to look really closely at that to make sure it is level, it is safe, and if everything's good and maybe the original construction just wasn't that good, I want to fix that. So maybe I'll have the contractors take that little edge piece off, re-level it, refocus it, redo it a little bit, so that way that's not noticeable at all. The siding, you can also notice, is kind of slanted down, and that also might be for the same reason of settling or whatever. Either way, the siding is old, so the siding would need to get replaced. You could probably get away with painting it, but in this neighborhood, there's a lot of houses that have been updated as far as the siding goes, a lot of nice vinyl siding here. So to really conform to the neighborhood, you probably should just replace all of the siding altogether. So when you look on the roof is those 3-tab shingles, and those are old. Most places around the country, they don't use the 3-tab anymore. They use architectural shingles. So that's something that's easily pointed out, where this you know this is an old roof. The roof is gonna need to get replaced. The shingles are kind of peeling and they're coming up anyway. So this place needs a new roof, new siding, and you'll also notice there's no gutters. There's no downspouts. There's no gutters, and definitely needs gutters. So a lot of work on the outside to really get this popping from when you drive by in the pictures to make it look good. Here's a boarded up window down there. That is in the laundry room from downstairs. That obviously needs to get fixed. That light above the garage, this is this is a spotlight. This is kind of one of those motion sensor lights. I don't know if you can see it too well. That's old. It just looks gross. What I would do is I would just take that off. Motion sensor lights aren't that expensive, and I would just kind of update that, because that's the first thing that you're going to see when you look at this garage, and that's just kind of an old light thing. So I'd update that. You could probably get away with leaving the garage door. It looks okay. Maybe you could paint it if you've got a nice color scheme for the house. Maybe painting the garage door red or something a little more vibrant. That would look good. The garage door looks okay though. as you look at the windows of the house, the windows here are old, but you could either replace all of them if that's within your budget. That'll really make a big difference, but that's going to get really expensive. But as I look around the neighborhood here, all of these houses were built around the same time. So they're all going to have the same, when they were built, they would have been built with the same materials. As I look around the neighborhood, not all of these houses have the updated windows. Some of these houses still have these old windows. So I think you can still get away with this in this house. If I were to fix it up and flip it, I think you could still get away with that. The windows work. They're not as modern or updated as you could get, but in order to reduce your costs and keep expenses low, you could probably still get away with these windows. You want to make sure the panes are fixed, the screens are fixed, and they look nice, but I probably don't need to replace every single window in the house. Okay, so let's talk about landscaping here for a minute. The thing about landscaping is really, really subjective. So it's important that you don't go over the top, because what you might be doing is just blowing your budget on plants and shrubs and things that make it look nice, but maybe your buyers don't want, maybe they don't care. Landscaping is really subjective, so it's important that you just maintain a blank canvas, make sure it's attractive, but you don't want to blow your budget on getting all kinds of new plants, because your buyer might go in there and they might rip it up to do their own landscaping. So here, the front of the house actually looks okay. I really wouldn't do very much landscaping on the front. We're filming this in the spring of the year, so the leaves and everything aren't fully out yet, but there's a shrub right here that'll bloom soon, and the grass is all green, nothing's dead. It could get cleaned up, kill some of the weeds, but if this is mowed, this is watered, and it looks good. There's a really nice tree right here. Once that's fully out in bloom, that'll look really nice. But as far as landscaping, I really wouldn't spend a lot of money on landscaping, because this canvas is blank enough and it's good enough for buyers as is. So that's how I would attack the landscaping on this house. So here's what I would do on the front here. This is the first thing buyers are going to see when they walk up to look at the property. They're going to look at the front door, the front entrance. That light is nasty. It won't take very much money to replace that, 10 bucks or so for a new light fixture. Get a new light fixture there. The mailbox actually looks nice, so I'd keep the mailbox. But the front door is a big deal. Now this screen is gross. What I would do is, you can get a whole new screen door and you can pay some money for a nice new screen door. That's one option. Or you could just take this screen door completely off. Don't even give your buyers a new option for a screen door. They can put a screen door in if they want to, but you don't always need to replace exactly what's there. You might be able to just eliminate this screen door and erase it, just pretend that it was never here. If you do that, definitely replace the front door. You want the front door to pop, you want the front door to look really nice, nice new hardware, new modern front door. That way, if you did erase this screen door and pretend that it was never even here, this is the first thing that your buyers are going to see. They're going to see this, and if there's a nice new front door, if there's a nice, bright red, maybe the door matches the color of the garage door, that'll look really nice. But what I would do is I'd get a new front door, because you're probably going to want a new front door anyway, and then I would just erase this screen door, pretend that it wasn't even here. So the front of the house, if you fixed a lot of the curb appeal items, you'd have new siding, new gutters, new roof, painted, everything would look nice, brand new front door. It would greatly improve your curb appeal quite a bit. So let's go inside. This is where things get fun. So this is what a distressed property looks like. You're going to encounter this kind of thing a lot. Over here, there's broken glass on the floor. It smells. I know you can't smell it on camera, but it smells in here. There's a lot of junk left over. That's going to be my responsibility. I'm going to have to deal with this junk, and it needs a lot of work. But this is what you're going to encounter as you flip houses. This is what you're going to encounter. We'll go through the house room by room, and I'll show you exactly what I'd fix up on each room. But basically, as you can see, this is what you're going to walk into. This is your project. So we walk through the front door here. This is going to be the main room. Here's a really nice fireplace. This would look really nice. And honestly, I think the bricks look good. Everything looks good. I would keep this as is. This is the focal point of this room, so I would keep it as is. You got to get rid of the nasty yellow color, so the whole house is going to get painted. The carpets in here are gross. They smell. There's been pets that peed on them. Who knows what has gone on in these carpets. Obviously, these need to get ripped up. But I want to show you something real quick. Now, I actually ripped back part of this carpet to see what's underneath. And there is gorgeous hardwood floor under here. So, here's a little bit of mold. Here's a little bit of mold here, but there's gorgeous hardwood floor right here. This is a no-brainer on what I would do with this room. I would rip this carpet out and resurface these beautiful hardwood floors. So you don't have to worry about getting new flooring in here, because there is plenty of stuff to work with under this carpet right here. So up here on the ceiling, you'll notice the light fixtures in the room. They're not bad. They are a little bit dated. You could update those if you wanted to, but again, this neighborhood is a little bit older neighborhood. It's not the newest neighborhood in the area, so these lights are okay. You could probably save yourself some money and not worry about getting new light fixtures. But if you'll notice, there's a huge crack going from this side of the room to that side of the room. This is a really big deal. You want to pay attention to stuff like this, because with the little bit of unlevel siding on the outside and then this crack, this tells me there's been some shifting, there's been some movement on this house. You really want to get this inspected a lot closer. If this is your first rehab and there are foundation issues that you have to deal with, it might be too big of a project for you, so you might not want to bite off something that big. But this tells me that there is some settling, there is some movement, and I really want my contractor to come in. You might want to get a structural engineer to come in to take a look at it and make sure that everything is safe. If this is just a simple, crack that has nothing to do with structural repair, or it's just a crack that happened, obviously fix it. You can plaster over it. You're going to paint the ceiling. But first things first, you want to make sure that there are no foundational things. And if there are foundational things and structural things, that you get those fixed as soon as possible. Add those into your rehab costs. And if fixing structural items scares you, might be too big of a project for your first rehab, and it's okay to exercise some of your contingencies and walk away from a deal like this. But this crack, this is a big dead giveaway that there was movement on the property. So let's keep walking through here. We got 2 bedrooms on the main level. Yeah, we got 2 bedrooms on the main level, here and here. We'll go in, and these are, they're pretty standard bedrooms. This door doesn't have a doorknob. This door is still good enough. It's a good door. It needs a doorknob. So what I would do is, in your cost, you don't have to get brand new doors for everything. You can paint this. Usually the color scheme that I like to go for is kind of a beige, very neutral beige color on the walls, and white trim. So usually I'll do a beige color on the walls, white ceiling, white trim, and white door. So if you paint this door white, it'll look brand new. Put a brand new doorknob on there. And in this room, I mean, it's a bedroom. You'll need new carpeting in here, which probably has the original hardwood floor under here. So you could probably just rip out all of the carpeting on this main level, and there's most likely going to be nice hardwood floor under here. So this will be really nice. Also, if you decide to keep this house as a rental too, having hardwood floor is going to be a lot better than carpet. So, so ripping this carpet up is good. Windows. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like a BB gun was shot through here. Something's going on with the windows. You could probably, if you wanted to replace the full windows, you probably could, or at very least replace the glass. It's kind of up to you. If you're not going to replace very many other windows throughout the house, you could probably get away with replacing the glass. But sometimes it's actually easier just to, instead of replacing 4, 5, 6 different panes of glass, just have your contractor cut this out, put a brand new window in there. That might be even easier for you, and you'll have to talk to your contractor about the different costs associated with that. But this is a bedroom. The other bedroom is probably going to be the same exact thing. Let's go to the other bedroom just to check it out. Yeah, again, the other bedroom, almost identical to that one. New paint. Paint this door white. These are kind of old doorknobs here. I'd get kind of an updated doorknob on there. Paint this door white, paint the trim white. No windows are broken in here, yeah, same as the other bedroom. This light fixture is old and gross. You could get a new light fixture for 10 bucks. So I'd get a new light fixture there, maybe to match that bedroom. If you wanted to get a new light fixture there, that's also old and gross. Basically what I'm looking for is the really old and gross, nasty stuff. If it's old and if you think it's old and gross and nasty, so are your buyers. So fix anything that's old, that's dated, that's nasty. Those light fixtures in there, they're not as bad, so you can get away with that. These light fixtures are gross, so I would probably get away with that, or replace those. But let's check out the bathroom. This is going to be a fun project. So obviously this bathroom is a big project, needs a lot of work. But I want to point one thing out that just stood out, you know, like a sore thumb to me. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Hopefully the light from the window isn't going to wash it out too much. But this shower is really, really gross. But there's a window right in the middle of the shower stall here, and this is the old wooden window. This has got wooden window sills. This is a wooden window. You never put wood in where there's going to be a lot of water. So this is just terrible. I don't know if this was an afterthought. I don't know if they built this bathroom around this window, but this is a really, really bad design. This is a really bad thing. So what needs to happen here is you need to take this window completely out. This window has to go. So you are going to get a new window in this room for sure. You can't have anything wooden in the shower stall at all. What I would do is, you know, you could do something where it's you could do like a nice design where maybe some translucent thing that allows light to come in, some sort of plastic plexiglass thing you can even do. They've got kind of stones that are kind of opaque. They allow light to come in, but it's not a window, it's not a functioning window. I don't think you want a functioning window in the bathroom like this, at least the way it's laid out. So you've got to do something different here. I'd still try to find a way to allow natural light to come in, but it can't be this way. So this is definitely something that you have to address. And you know, this tub is good enough. You could probably get away with resurfacing this tub. You might want to just rethink. If you're redoing the window, you might just want to rethink this whole thing anyway. So maybe the cheapest thing for you is to actually take this entire tub out, take out the entire shower stall, put in just a brand new stall, and just completely redo it. Talk to your contractor, but you can either resurface the tub or just get a brand new stall for it. Everything else, new flooring, new light fixture. The shower stall is the main thing. Everything else you can update, new toilet seat and that kind of thing. So let's keep walking throughout the house here. That's that side of the room. This is the kitchen. Let's talk about the kitchen a little bit. So the first thing I notice about the kitchen here is there's carpet on the floor. I don't know why they designed houses like this or why they've ever done this, but this carpet's got to come up. This has to be vinyl or some sort of linoleum or something. You could do laminate hardwood, something else. You can't have carpet in the kitchen. That's just a dumb design. These countertops, these are old. These are nasty. So, you know, you could potentially, if there's enough room there, you might be able to get a brand new countertop and have it hang over a little bit. You can maybe kind of make like a breakfast bar or something here. This might be kind of nice. But the kitchen, you know, the cabinets really aren't that bad. The cabinets are in okay shape. They function. They've got all their doors. They seem level. So what you can do, if you wanted to, you could probably just resurface these cabinets. You know, I don't see any doors missing. The cabinets actually they look like they're all intact. So what I would do, I'd rip up the countertops, get brand new custom countertops on here. You know, maybe you do that breakfast nook thing or something. But then as far as the cabinets, you could probably save yourself a bunch of money from having to do it, instead of having to do a whole new redesign of the kitchen, just resurface the original cabinets that are already here. And they've got a lot of resurfacing kits. You can hire a company to resurface it. But even painting the cabinets white to kind of match a color scheme you have going on, that could work. You know, you could always paint the cabinets white, paint them some color, get new hardware on here. there's a lot of ways that you can redo and reuse the cabinets that are already in here without having to cost yourself a lot of money from having to buy brand new cabinets. Now, if you're gonna flip this house, these appliances, they might work, but they just aren't that appealing. So what I would do is my personal preference is to get either black or stainless steel appliances. Even though the black or stainless steel would probably cost the same as this, it's going to make the kitchen look a lot sleeker, look a lot more modern, and look more expensive. Black and stainless steel appliances have a higher perceived value. So I would probably, you're going to have to get a new stove anyway. There's no stove here. So if you're going to get a new stove, I would probably go with like a black or stainless steel theme in here and just kind of replace these appliances anyway. You can sell, if you wanted to get a new fridge here, you can sell this or put this in storage and use this for a rental property or something. Light fixtures, you can get another new light fixture here, $10 at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. This is an old vent, old exhaust fan type thing. It's old. That's a dead giveaway that this is an old, outdated thing. So I would replace that. Just use the same components, use the same venting and everything that's there. Just make it look a little nicer. You can get a new exhaust fan that's just going to look more modern, because that just makes the whole kitchen look old. So I'd replace that. Replace this. This looks like some sort of there was a light here at one time. So, you know, and they put some trim around it. I'm not sure what the original plan was here, but you could probably just have your contractor take this out and finish this so there is no cavity here where an old light was, and you could probably just put another new light. I don't know if I'd try to do anything recessed or mess with that at all. I'd probably just cover that up and pretend that it was never even there. This sink here, I've actually never seen a sink laid out like this where it's two different bays here. It's interesting. I actually think you could make this sink work if you've got a new, a really nice maybe gooseneck type faucet or something. I think you can make it work. Or if you're getting a brand new countertop, you could just have them cut in a new sink and put in a brand new sink spot anyway. But definitely new sink hardware here. And then of course you gotta update these windows and fix these windows. I think these windows were broken out anyway. These are just the storm windows here. So most likely you're going to need to get two brand new windows right here, because I think these windows are completely broken. This is just a one pane storm stuff. So you're going to have to get new windows there either way. All right, so that's kind of the upper level here. Actually, here's the deck. I want to show you the deck real quick. This is nice. This is a nice deck. The problem is it's dangerous. I'm not going to go out there because I know enough to know that, and from underneath, I know enough to know that this is unsafe. So the deck is really nice, but you're probably going to have to rebuild a whole new deck. I don't know if you can. I don't know if the easiest solution is going to be to fix what's already there or just rip it down and start over. You're gonna have to ask your contractor about this one, but I wouldn't go out there quite yet. You're definitely gonna have to get the deck. All right, now let's go downstairs and see what's down there. There's no electricity in here, so hopefully you'll still be able to see. If you look at this electrical panel here, this is really old. Have an electrician check this out, because this probably doesn't even work. So that's electrical work. That's probably going to be a big cost for you. I'm not sure if you can see the carpeting, but this is old, nasty carpeting. You got to replace this. There's no sort of light in there. You won't be able to see in there, but that is the utility room. That's where the laundry is as well. So there's a lot of junk in there. That's where that boarded up window was. So you're gonna have to replace that window. Once that window's replaced, then there'll be a lot of light coming in, so it's gonna be much better. But you're just gonna have to clean this up. This is concrete floor. This is where the laundry is. This is where the furnace, the hot water heater. if you paint the concrete floor, just concrete floor paint, that's good enough. This is a utility room. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. And then this, I just put a door here. You might end up tripping on this 2x4 here, so you just spruce this up. But you don't have to go too crazy here, because this is just laundry room. This is just utility room. This is the downstairs, and this property actually is pretty interesting because it's got a full kitchen downstairs as well. So if you wanted to, you could turn this into an up-down duplex, which is actually my plan. I plan to keep this and turn it into an up-down duplex. You could flip this house and turn this into one large house, which will end up being a about a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. Or you could keep it yourself as a duplex, or you could turn this house into a duplex and then sell it as a duplex. So there's a lot of options that you could do with this property, which is kind of cool. So depending on what you want to do, you could, it's kind of depending on what you want to do with this kitchen. If you're going to keep this as a duplex, you're going to turn it into a duplex. You're definitely going to want some sort of exterior door here, and this will be the barrier between this unit and the upstairs unit. So you're going to have to put some sort of exterior door here and make sure that this unit is secured. But if you're going to turn this into a single-family house, you might want to keep the kitchen down here. You could turn this into a nice wet bar. There's a lot of options that you could do here, but I would definitely keep a lot of the cabinets. Keep the sink. This could be a really cool wet bar area. This could be a, this could be a game room down here. Really depends on what direction you want to go with this. For me personally, I'm going to keep this as a duplex, and it's going to be another rental property for me. So I'm going to separate these units. I'm going to keep this full kitchen here, and I'm going to keep this as an up-down duplex and secure the door here. And as long as we're on the subject of turning this into either a duplex or a full house, I will tell you why I'm personally keeping it as a duplex. But this depends on your investment decision, on what you want, on your investment goals. If your goal is to just flip properties and just churn properties, you don't want to deal with tenants, you don't want to deal with property management, I don't blame you. If that's your goal, you're gonna decide really quickly that you're gonna fix this house up and sell it. For me, my goal is to accumulate rentals. I want to keep building my passive income portfolio. So I'm deciding to keep this as a duplex for my specific investment goals. Has really nothing to do with the property. So depending on if you run into a property like this, or depending on houses you might flip in the future, it's going to depend on your investment, on your particular investment goals. Earlier on in my career, when I was just starting out and I had no money, I would flip this because I would I would fix it up, make a bunch of money, cash that I can then use to acquire rentals. I'm a little bit later in my career. I've been doing this for quite a few years, so now I'm at the point where if I'm going to put a lot of work into something, I don't want to just give it away. So I'm going to keep this as a duplex, but you making the decision on whether you want to fix it up as a duplex and flip it, or keep it yourself, or refinance, or whatever you want to do, that's going to be based on your specific goals. Doesn't really matter too much about the merits of the property. So if you were curious on why I'm keeping this as a duplex instead of flipping it and selling it, that's why. But it has nothing to do. You can flip. If I wanted to sell this, I can sell this no problem with the same techniques that I'm talking to you about today. Okay, now we're down here. I noticed another electrical panel. This is much more updated. So I'm not an electrician. You'll want to have your electrician come in here to see if maybe this is the new electrical panel, and that one that we just looked at coming down the stairs, maybe that doesn't work anymore. But definitely this house needs electrical work. Also, this house needs plumbing. Over here, you'll see that whoever lived here, this is a burst pipe. This is a frozen pipe, and these pipes got cold, and this copper burst right here. And who knows how much damage, who knows how much this flooded. So this house needs electrical work. This house needs plumbing work as well, and you can tell there's at least one burst pipe in this house. But as far as the kitchen, everything else looks good. The cabinets look good. Countertops, I mean, the countertops aren't bad. I'd probably keep the counters the way they are. Vinyl, it's probably okay down here depending on what you wanted to do. If you wanted to turn this into a wet bar, you might want to put some cool, a little bit more modern. But if you're going to keep this as a duplex or something, the flooring looks okay. In the rest of the room here, carpet, again, is really nasty. You'll rip this up. You'll probably put new carpet. You could put new flooring, new laminate hardwood if you wanted to. This door has been broken in. You can see they've tried to secure it. So actually, it's broken off the frame. You can see the frame here is broken. So you'll need to get a whole new door, new door frame. It might actually be easier just to get a whole new door than door with the frame and just have that installed rather than trying to fix what's already here. Down in this basement, one of the things that I noticed was this old heater. You'll see this old heater here, and what I noticed about that is this was the heat source for down here. So as soon as I saw that, I immediately started looking around the rest of the house to see if there's other heat sources, and this was it. So there's no ductwork down here, and there's no baseboard heaters. This was the heat source. I'm not going to do that. I would. This is old. I would definitely replace this. You could either, if you have to do furnace work, it might be beneficial for you to cut in some ducts. That way you can have that forced air going in the different rooms. Or you could also add those baseboard heaters. Those are just electric heat. But from what I see down here, the heat source from upstairs and downstairs are two different heat sources. So down here, you're going to want to talk to your furnace person, your contractor, to see if it's cheaper for you to just do maybe baseboard heaters or actually cut in official ducts and run new duct work for down in this area. There are two bedrooms down here in the basement. There's also a bathroom, so the layout is very similar to the top floor. And the bedrooms down here, similar thing to what you're gonna have to do upstairs. You're gonna have to paint everything. Again, I would do that beige wall color scheme with the white trim. But this down here, I mean, same exact thing from what I do upstairs. I have to paint the wall. Obviously, the person who lived here was a Denver Broncos fan. So this wall's going to get painted. Nothing against the Broncos. I don't really care whether you like Broncos or not. But you're going to have to make this pretty neutral. If you're trying to sell this house to someone who's not a Broncos fan, it's not going to go really well with this logo on the wall. So you got to get this painted over to make this room really, really neutral. Here's the bathroom down here. Not as much work here as the bathroom upstairs. But again, this is another wood window. You have to do something different here from this wood window. This room down here, because it's a basement bathroom, you can get away with resurfacing this tub and putting some new stuff in here. But again, you're just going to have to do some TLC, update some of the light and the fan and just some of the vanities, and you have to update this. But down here, the layout down here is pretty much identical to what it is upstairs. So again, you have to work on the bathrooms, have to work on the bedrooms. Here's one thing I did want to show you in the bedroom though, in this downstairs bedroom. I haven't gotten out my tape measure, but I don't know if these windows are big enough to be considered egress windows. Depending on what part of the country you're in, you might not have basements, but in this area of the country, there are basements, and the laws around here state that if the bedrooms, to be considered a bedroom, you have to have an egress window. And the egress window isn't so much as, like if there's a fire in the house, it's not so much so you can get out, it's more so the firemen can get in to save you. So an egress window, I haven't gotten on my tape measure, but you want to make sure these are set to the egress window size in your region. If it's not, in my region, if these don't qualify as egress windows, this doesn't qualify as a bedroom. So if this won't qualify as a bedroom, that means I've only got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. I'd much rather have a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. So I want to get out my tape measure to make sure this has the right square footage and right dimensions. If it doesn't, it might be in my best interest to just have at least one egress window cut in there, so at least this can qualify as a 4-bedroom home. Also, one more thing, this is just kind of a vent from the laundry room on the other side. It looks gross. What I would do is I just have your contractor just block this out. You know, you probably don't have to, but if you could just build some sort of little covering or something, that'll make it look a little bit more attractive in here. But this is old school wall paneling. You could probably get away, it's still in good shape, you could probably get away with painting this. It's a downstairs bedroom, not gonna get a lot of traffic down here. You could probably save yourself a little bit of money and paint this, and you could still get away with it as if this were regular drywall. Okay, so we're in the backyard here, and as you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but that deck, you can see it's just leaning. Everything I'm seeing out here, this deck just has to go, and you can rebuild it. So you can restructure it however you want, but that deck's totally unsafe. You got to redo the deck. But out here in the backyard, it's really not that bad. Again, it's another blank canvas. I wouldn't do a ton of landscaping work back here because who knows, the buyers might want to do their own style in the backyard. But there's a nice little shed here. You're gonna have to fix some of the fences that are falling down. But same in the backyard, same things as in the front yard. Needs new. The eaves and the fascia and the soffit and stuff, all that needs to be repainted. Gutters, and you're going to do new siding anyway. So what I would do is whatever color you're going to paint the house or with the siding, you're going to want to do it with this garage too. And this garage is nicer than the house in my opinion. So let's go check out the garage real quick. This is the garage back here, and it butts up to the alley, so you can come up from the alley and access the garage. It's a nice 2-car garage here. It doesn't look like the garage door openers are there, so you might want to install garage door openers. But if you were to fix this house up to be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house, it would actually have 3 different garage bays, 2 in the back and 1 in the front. So that would be a really big seller. For me, I'm going to keep it as a duplex, so that's going to be even better because now I've got my upstairs tenant who's going to have their own covered garage, my downstairs tenant who they're going to have their own covered garage, and this works really well. But here, I notice a big hole in the wall. This is also where the electrical panel was. So again, you're going to have to get your electrician to look at this, and this is why this garage has no electricity. So I know that wasn't your typical HGTV show, but I hope you appreciated the walkthrough so you can know what to expect when you start looking at distressed properties, when you start flipping houses. And the point of this really isn't to show you how gross this house is and how amazing we can make it after it's done, because yes, I could make this house look beautiful, you could make this house look beautiful, but the point is not to make the house look incredible. The point is to run a business, and you need to make sure you're very strategic with how far you go in your rehab, what you fix up, what you don't fix up, what you leave for your buyers to make for their own, and how far you go on your rehab and your flipping and your improving properties is really going to depend on a lot of factors. It's going to depend on your price range, it's going to depend on your neighborhood, it's going to depend on what you bought the house for, and it's going to depend on your investing goals. See, if I was keeping this house as a rental, I might not want to put as much money into the high-end fixtures and things, but I might want to put more money into the durability of the property. So make sure I've got really good durable flooring, I've got good durable faucets and things. That way I make them really durable for tenants so that it's harder for them to damage. Whereas if I was fixing this property, I want to make it look really, really great, and my design choices might change a little bit. So I hope you found some value in walking through this and kind of seeing some real life examples of what to look for when you look on your next flips. Maybe gave you some ideas and some inspiration on what you could do in your business. But the really great part about this business and fixing up houses like this isn't the fact that you get to make money, because yes, I do plan to make money on this house. It's the fact that you can help a lot more people. Actually, while we were filming this segment, I talked with one of the neighbors, and they said they've had a lot of problems with vagrants and hobos breaking into this place and causing a lot of problems with the neighborhood. So the fact that I get to fix up this house and I get to make a profit on it, but I also get to help a lot of these neighbors and help these people and make this a safer neighborhood, improve their property values a little bit at the same time by taking an eyesore like this off of their you know, off of their street. That's really what real estate's all about. That's what's really exciting.